What's going on, everyone? I'm Tyrone Isaac, and welcome back to the channel. So, want to have this conversation with you all that I was having today on my job. It's actually funny that I'm recording today. Typically, I try to batch record my videos, but hey, here we are. So, was having this conversation today on the job, and want to kind of share with you all because I believe that this conversation can help all of us. I believe it can help me. I believe it can help my subscribers. I believe it can just help people in general. All right. And this conversation was basically about growth on the job, but we may talk a little bit about the job, but we're really just going to talk about growth as a whole, on how to grow in life. All right. With that being said, if you're new to the channel, that's definitely what we're all about on this channel. We're all about growth. We're all about transformation. We're about obviously elevating in life. That's on the job. That's with our business. That's with our finance. That's with our health. That's even just in our actions, in our behavior, our character, who we are. Just want to become the better version of ourselves. So if you're new to the channel and you're definitely into that, that's what we're here for. So definitely make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified when we have a new video. And obviously, like, comment if you like what you hear. So with that being said, we'll jump into this conversation. And was having a conversation, like I said, at the job, and we were talking about how to grow, how to become better versions of ourselves. Actually, we were talking about how to become better versions of ourselves in regards to leadership. Um, and that's what I kind of want to share with you all, is not just with leadership, but with any type of growth. There's three things that has to happen in order to grow. Um, and the first thing is mindset. There has to be a shift in the mindset in order for an individual to grow. So in order for you to grow in life, you have to have a mindset shift. If you don't have a mindset shift, it's going to be hard for you to grow. Anybody that tells you that they're able to grow without having a mindset shift, they're likely lying to you, because you can't move forward if you're still thinking how you were thinking yesterday. All right, let me say that again. If you're thinking the same way you were thinking yesterday, you cannot move forward. If you're thinking the same way you were thinking last year, you will not move forward in 2025. The same way you thought in 2021 during the COVID time, you cannot think and operate like that in 2025 if you plan to move forward. All right, so that's definitely the first thing. And with mindset, the reason why mindset is so important, I got some notes here. So on my note, I said the truth is you can't change your life with the same thinking that created it. Most people are stuck not because they don't have talent or drive, but because their mindset is keeping them small. All right. So it's not that you're not talented, it's not that you don't have enough drive, but it's your mindset that's keeping you small. If your mindset isn't shifting, or you have what we call your small-mindedness, you got like this small-mindedness set, then you're not going to be able to grow. All right, if you are literally, right, so say your goal is to become a millionaire, but you're still trying to operate in this sense of, I can I can work my 9 to 5, and when I get off of work, I'm just gonna go relax and watch Netflix and chill. I don't see how that mindset is going to get you to a millionaire. Now, I'm not saying that you can't work a 9 to 5 and become a millionaire. You can definitely work a 9 to 5 and become a millionaire. I can't say that I've done it yet, but I have a mentor who, he literally works for corporate America, and this year he became a millionaire. And he's not an older person. Like, I think Mark is like 46 years old, 45, 46 years old. He literally got a job offer, and it came with $4 million in equity, basically stock. So he's now a millionaire. So you can definitely become a millionaire working a 9 to 5. However, if your mindset right now in your current state is, I'm going to go to work my 9 to 5, and come home and then watch Netflix and chill, that's a small-minded thing. That's a small mind. You got to put some extra work in. You got to put some extra time in. You got to focus on something else. Whether it's a side hustle, whether it's a business, you got to do something else that's going to help you to basically grow, to move forward. Somehow that mind has to shift if that's what it is. All right. If it's with your health, if you know that with your health, you got to lose weight because you're obese, because you're on a scale of having high blood pressure, or you're almost diabetic, and you're not willing to stop eating certain foods because of your mindset, then you're going to end up on high blood pressure medicine. You're going to end up taking insulin. You're going to constantly be obese. My biggest fear is being obese and not being able to run behind my son. I have that mindset that I can't be obese because I have to be able to run behind my son. So you got to have a mindset shift first in order to grow. I promise you, if you have a mindset shift, you will grow. You will move forward. I'm not going to say you're going to grow, but you will start the process of growth to moving forward. So it all starts with your mindset. All right. Even with your finances, if you're in major debt, if you're $100,000 in debt and you want to come out of debt, you got to have a mindset shift first. You don't wake up, you're $100,000 in debt. Okay, now I'm going to come out of debt. No, your mind starts thinking about it. You start thinking about and pondering, how am I going to come out of debt? Then you start planning it. And then the action comes in place. So it originates with mindset. So you got to have mindset in order to move forward. All right. That's number one. Number two is ownership. No one's coming to save you. Like, got to be honest with you. Nobody's going to save you. Your boss isn't, your parents isn't, your mentor's not. Nobody's going to save you. The only person that can save you is you. Quick story. So last year I hired a mentor. I paid a mentor $15,000 to train me, to start coaching me and mentoring me and developing me with the business I want to start, or that I have started. And when I paid the mentor this money, I paid him his money. At that point, it is now on me to take ownership and focus on this. I can tell you my first 2 months, if I'm being honest, I was missing so many meetings. And I'm like, I've paid all this money and I'm missing these meetings. Because I had different stuff, excuses basically. I'm just going to call it what it is. I wasn't taking ownership in my own growth. So you can get your boss on your side, you can get your parents on your side, you can go pay for a mentor. If you don't take ownership and moving forward, you're not going to move forward. If it's your health, you shift your mindset and you say, okay, I got to get healthier. I got to be here for my children. However, you don't get up off of the couch and go walk. You don't get up off the couch and go to the gym and get on the treadmill. You don't go start lifting weights. Then you're not taking ownership in your own health. You're talking about it. Your mindset is already started to shift, but you're personally at this time not taking full ownership and actually putting action behind your words or your thoughts. You got to put action behind your words and your thoughts. That's when you start taking full ownership. Ownership is a major key. Like, I promise you, like, if you take ownership, it's a step forward. Mindset, it starts with the mindset. But once you get to ownership, now you're about to take a big step. Because with ownership, you're not going to let anything get in your way, basically. I had this individual, I was just coaching one of my leaders that worked for me, and he was sharing with me how his direct boss, he doesn't agree with his direct boss. He feels like his direct boss has given up on him. And as I'm receiving the feedback and taking this feedback and writing down in my notes so that I can go back to his boss, after I took all the feedback and wrote down my notes and everything and preparing my just my visual of how I'm going to have this conversation with his boss, I was making sure I was listening, because the amount of times that he kept saying that my boss is failing me and I don't know if I'll ever be able to be successful, I started to feel inside he was giving up on himself and he wasn't taking full ownership in what he's doing and what he can do. So I had to then share with him how I at one point was in the same situation where I didn't feel like my boss had my best interest at heart. I know my boss didn't have my best interest at heart. But that didn't stop me from moving forward in my career. It was a roadblock, it was a mountain that I had to climb. It says it in the Bible, God won't give us more than we can endure or that we can bear. So I had to climb that mountain. I had to move around that mountain, find other mentors, find other coaches to help me get to where I wanted to go in my career. And that's what I did, because I wasn't going to put my career in somebody else's hands. I was going to take full ownership of it. And that's what I'm saying to you all. You got to take ownership. If you don't take ownership in your own career, your own development, your own growth, your own finances, your own current situation, if your current situation right now is jacked up and you're not taking ownership and you're waiting for somebody to come save you, I'm here to tell you, nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to save you. I can literally sit here and boo-hoo and cry all about my current situation, and like, making a lot of money doesn't make you happy. Having a good job doesn't make you happy. I didn't know that until I got a good job. So I can cry about my situation and how life is going for me, or I can make something happen. So you can do the same thing. You can sit there and cry, or you can make something happen. The last thing, transformation. So transformation, it doesn't happen by doing more. It happens by becoming more. It's not just about the next job, the next move, or the next promotion. It's about becoming the version of you who's already aligned with the next level. It bridges the gap between who you are and who you're meant to be. Let me say that again. It bridges the gap between who you are and who you're meant to be. How do you bridge the gap of who you are right now and who you're meant to be? I can tell you, you become a better version of you. You become better on today than you were on yesterday. You become better on this week than you were last week. You become better in April than you were in July or January. You become better in 2025 than you were in 2024. If you got the same mindset right now in April 2025 that you had in April 2021, you ain't grown none. You ain't transformed any. And it's holding you back. If you still dwelling on what you did a year ago, you can't forgive yourself from it. That mindset is holding you back. You got to forgive yourself. You gotta stop letting that bad spirit, that entity, whatever, weigh heavy on you. Ask God for forgiveness and move forward. Right? If you know you ain't supposed to be eating ice cream, right? You know you ain't supposed to be eating ice cream. You know it ain't good for your health. Throw that ice cream away and move forward. Focus on your diet. Get right. Get in the gym. If you got $100,000 in debt, stop using your Amex. Stop using your credit card. Because that's going to show the transformation. Right? I want to see the transformation. I want you all to see the transformation. Look at how much you're at in debt right now. Pause this video and pull up how much debt you got. With that being said, are you ready to transform your debt? Are you ready to transform your finances? Step on the scale. Are you ready to transform your health? You've been griping and complaining about this raise you can't get, this promotion you can't get. What you gonna do about it? Are you a better version of who you were yesterday? If you're not a better version of who you were yesterday, like, why should you get the promotion? There's a saying, and I actually have it on my board at work. But there's a saying that what got you here today isn't gonna get you where you're trying to go tomorrow. What got you where you are today isn't gonna get you where you're trying to go tomorrow. You gotta change, you gotta grow, you gotta transform. All right. So with that being said, just to recap, mindset has to shift. You got to take ownership. You got to transform. You do those three things, and I promise you, you will grow. You will start to move forward in life. All right. With that being said, again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If this is something that you want help with, definitely shoot me a message. Make sure you DM me. My IG is on here. My LinkedIn's on here. Let's connect. Let's try to move you forward. Let's try to help you get to where you want to go. Later.